After 17 months of non-stop football, the Brazilians took a well-earned rest, so we thought it fitting to review probably the most successful year in Sundowns history. For this episode of Sky's the Limit, 2016 started with Bafana Bastille in high spirits after their trounced Chiefs in the Telkom Cup and was sitting at the summit of the PSL table. January, the team picked up where they left off with 3 wins and a draw to Chiefs. February came and the Brazilians started to show their dominance, trouncing Chippa 3-0 before taking on Free State Stars in a memorable game that ended 5-2 in favor of Sundowns.
Playing Free State Stars away is always a problem, you know, and especially at 3 o'clock, it's always hot there. But we managed. They scored early in the game, but we never gave up. We always knew that once we score 1 goal, we'll come back into the game.
The goal in Free State Stars, we were practicing the set pieces against them and how we're going to move. And when we got the corner kick, ball went out. I saw it's on his right foot, so the only way it can go, it's an in-swinger. And KK got there before me, and luckily it came from the keeper, and I was just there to bury it in.
We kept on pushing, and luckily I scored a goal. The ball was being played on the right-hand side, and the coach always told me to get into the box. If it's not the far post, it must be like the 45 outside the box. And Mbekile had the ball on the right, and he tried to dribble inside the box, and he laid it off to me on the edge of the box, and I actually didn't want to hit it too hard. I just wanted to place it, and that's what I did, and it went in.
The goals have been coming from all different angles. Defenders, midfielders, strikers, everybody's been scoring. So luckily for us, we don't have that problem with goal scoring.
The Brazilians needed the morale boost because next up was their arch nemesis Pirates. But once again, the CBD Phenom stepped up to the plate.
We've been working on it since Castro came to Sundowns. Obviously it took time to get there, but once we started clicking, you could see glimpses of it at training, you know, at some of the games we played. But against Pirates, it was just something else. We could find each other, and it happened with the 2 goals that I could find Kama could find Castro, and the other goal that Kama scored, Castro found me. I played it to Kama, and he played it back to me, and I tried to shoot, and luckily it fell for Kama again. So that game, things just worked well for us. I must say also credit to my other teammates, you know, because they've been helping us out a lot. It's about the whole team, not just the 3 of us.
Sundown's second place position in the PSL the previous season gave them automatic entry into the CAF Champions League. The start of the campaign, though, wasn't ideal against Chicken Inn.
To be honest, they scored a very good goal. The guy struck it well, but we could have prevented the goal. We could have stopped it at the beginning. You know, it became a snowball. I think Wayne committed a mistake by involving in the tackle there. He should have gone with the guy, but mistakes do happen. He learned from them. It's a hard lesson, and it's a brilliant goal. It's true that the physical side takes a big knock on us. They were our 5th game in 11 days, so it was difficult. Never mind the mind that I speak about, the mental side, but there was the physical side.
The Brazilians had to brush off the loss and the fatigue because 3 games in 7 days waited for them back home. One of them, the return leg against Chicken Inn, a game they had to win.
We're defending in a box. The forward was saying, come on guys, we can still do it. And the belief was there. There was something that was in us.
To be honest, the one that is nerve-wracking is the penalty. But you know, you always have that belief that you can do it. What a performance, what a game. Let's be part of it.
After the Chicken Inn victory, the march to PSL glory continued with a 2-0 derby win against Supersport and a tough 1-0 against Highlands Park in the Nedbank Cup before taking on AC Leopards from the Congo at home in the Champions League. A 2-0 victory put the Brazilians in good stead before the tough away travel to the Congo for the away leg. To add to the burden, 4 days later, the Brazilians faced a determined Celtic who gave them a wake-up call. They lost 3-1. March was becoming a tough month for the march to PSL and continental glory.
It was very hectic, you know. After the game against Celtic, we didn't have any time, you know. We traveled back to the hotel, have dinner. 11, let's say 12 o'clock, we were in our room. Some people slept later, you know, but that is football. You want to achieve in life, you got to go through all the struggle, you know. So I don't think we need to complain. We just need to keep our feet on the ground.
It was very, very tough. We scored 2 goals at home. The only thing that we needed to do was to consolidate the score and try to defend the goals that we had. When we play away from home, the team's going to come at you and try to score many goals as they can. But we managed very well to contain them, and we managed to get the only chance of the game. It was a pass from Castro. I controlled it. The only thing came to my mind was it could be the only chance. I didn't want to waste that chance by looking for a pass. The pitch was not allowing us to look for that pass. Thank God it went in.
A 1-1 draw in Dolisi was enough for Sundowns to progress in the Champions League. And after beating Mombela United in the Nedbank Cup, the team were back in Africa to take on AS Vita in Kinshasa at the legendary home of the Rumble in the Jungle. Sundowns, Boumaye!
The space for Africa. This is the change room of Muhammad Ali, the Rumble in the Jungle. Ali Boumaye, Zaire.
And a rumble it was. The Brazilians fought hard in front of a hostile crowd, but like George Foreman, victory wasn't going to be theirs in Kinshasa.
First 25 minutes, we were in charge, but football is not about who was in charge. Football is about results. I think we could have taken our chances. We had so many chances.
Obviously, it was not good that we conceded towards the end of the game. We dropped so deep and we allowed them to come to us, and it created more pressure. Even though I managed to save the first shot, but it was not good enough to help the team because at the end of the day, I conceded.
The 1-0 loss away was familiar territory for the Brazilians, and they headed home with the knowledge that they had beaten Chicken in similar circumstances. They just couldn't let Vita score at Lucas Moripe.
They wanted to win, they gave their best. It's anxiety, decision-making was not proper. We were making wrong decisions. When you play Champions League, the away goal is very expensive. This is what happened. We focused more on the attack. And because they never troubled us that much in Kinshasa, that was the problem. We knew that this team might not score that much. And we slept. They caught us napping. It's a good goal he scored. It's not an easy goal.
A foul on Castro towards the end of the first half gave the Brazilians a glimmer of hope.
It was very important for Thabo, but he's a good experience for that, and he slotted it. That gave us life to come back. But the second goal was the one that gave us chance, because if you score one more, you win. And that's when now we saw a lot of anxiety, wanting to score, not coming, and making wrong decisions, and misses and miscontrol of the ball, emotions. With the kind of game we played and the chances we created, I would say we underachieved.
Even though they won the home game, the Brazilians were knocked out of the Champions League due to their away goal rule. The Brazilians had to lift their heads and focus on domestic glory. And true to form, Sundowns ended April on a high.